Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The message came at 10:42 p.m. Don't wait up tonight. I stared at the screen, my thumb hovering over the glowing text like it might burn me if I touched it. The room was silent except for the hum of the refrigerator in the next room, and the ticking clock that suddenly seemed louder than ever. She'd never said that before. Not in 8 years together. My heart gave a small, uncertain lurch. I typed back before I could stop myself. Didn't plan to. I hit send. 3 words. Calm. Detached. But my chest felt like it was collapsing in on itself. 3 minutes later, her reply didn't come. But her read receipt did. And then out of nowhere, the message I didn't expect. Actually, never mind. I'll be home soon. I stared at those words for a long time. My pulse pounded in my ears. Why cancel so suddenly? Why not explain? That was the moment I knew something was wrong. Elena and I had been drifting for months. No fights, no blow-ups, just the quiet decay that happens when people stop listening. She worked late. I stopped asking when she'd be home. We both pretended it was normal. But tonight, something in my gut twisted. I could still see her face from earlier that evening. Her lipstick smudged from haste. Perfume heavy and sharp. The way she'd avoided my eyes when I asked where she was going. Just drinks with some coworkers, she'd said, grabbing her purse. Don't wait up. The same words she texted hours later. Only now she was coming home because of me. Because I didn't plan to wait up. The front door opened at 11:18. Hey, she called softly. Her voice was gentle, careful, like someone walking into a room full of glass. Hey. I didn't turn from the couch. The TV flickered with some meaningless sitcom rerun. The laugh track too cheerful for the air between us. She stood there a moment before dropping her purse on the counter. You're still up. I shrugged. Didn't plan to be. Silence stretched. Then she laughed lightly, but it cracked halfway through. What's that supposed to mean? I looked at her then. Her hair was slightly tousled. Her eyeliner smudged faintly beneath her left eye. Her phone screen lit up in her hand as if trying to interrupt us. Who's that? I asked. No one, she said quickly, locking it. The word no one hung in the air, heavy and unmistakable. Later in bed, she turned her back to me. But I couldn't sleep. My mind replayed every moment of the last few weeks, the sudden bursts of laughter she'd shared with someone from work, the nights she came home smelling of a cologne that wasn't mine, the locked phone, the late-night notification she'd swipe away with a guilty flick of her thumb. Still, I told myself stories. Maybe she really was just tired. Maybe she was lonely in ways I hadn't seen. Maybe the message meant nothing. Denial is strange. It doesn't come as blindness. It comes as hope. The next morning I made coffee. She was in the shower, humming softly like nothing was wrong. I stared at her phone on the counter. Face down. Charging. It wasn't locked with Face ID, that was new. She'd turned that off. I told myself not to. That I trusted her. That I was better than this. But my hands moved anyway. The messages were right there. Mark work. Last message from her. Can't wait to see you tonight. I told him it's just coworkers. Wish me luck. My stomach turned cold. My breath caught somewhere between my lungs and my throat. And then the message she never sent. I think he suspects something. My thumb hovered over it, trembling. That was the draft she'd been typing before she changed her mind. Before she texted don't wait up. Before my reply made her cancel everything. When she came out of the shower, towel wrapped around her, she smiled like the world was still intact. Morning, she said. I nodded, unable to form words. Coffee smells good, she added, walking past me. I watched her. The woman I'd loved since college. The woman who once cried because I surprised her with flowers on a random Tuesday. The woman who used to call me her safe place. Now she was someone else's secret. She noticed my stare and paused. What's wrong? I set my mug down carefully. You tell me. Her eyes flickered with confusion, or the best imitation of it I'd ever seen. What are you talking about? Mark, I said simply. It was like watching a house of cards collapse in slow motion. Her face drained of color, lips parting as if to speak, then closing again. Finally a whisper. You weren't supposed to see that. Then maybe you shouldn't have left your phone unlocked. She sat down, clutching the towel tighter. It's not what you think. I laughed once quietly. Then tell me what I'm thinking. Her eyes filled with tears, but they weren't for me. They were for the lie that couldn't survive anymore. I was lonely, she said finally. You stopped talking to me. You stopped looking at me like before. So you found someone who did? Her silence answered for her. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to break every fragile thing in that kitchen. But all I could do was stand there, numb. Did you sleep with him? Her jaw tightened. That was all the answer I needed. I turned away, gripping the edge of the counter. You canceled because of my text, didn't you? Because you thought I knew. She didn't deny it. Hours passed like years. She cried. I didn't. At one point she reached for my hand. Please, I made a mistake. It didn't mean anything. Then why does it feel like it meant everything? She had no reply. We sat there, the air between us thick with things we could never undo. Finally I stood. I don't hate you, I said. But I can't be here. Where will you go? I don't know. But not here. That night I packed quietly. She didn't try to stop me. Maybe she knew it was pointless. Maybe part of her was relieved. Before leaving I looked back once. She sat on the couch holding her phone, staring at the same message that started it all. Don't wait up tonight. And I wondered, if I hadn't replied, would she have gone through with it? Would I still be asleep in a blissful lie? Some questions don't need answers. Outside, the air was cold and sharp, smelling of rain. I stood on the porch for a moment, letting the night swallow me whole. Then my phone buzzed. A message. I'm sorry. Please don't block me. I typed back slowly, deliberately. Didn't plan to. Then I turned the phone off, slid it into my pocket, and walked into the quiet dark. The sound of the door closing behind me was the cleanest silence I'd ever heard.